How you going? My name is Josh Ferris and you're watching me on Run Forest Run TV.
Give me some time.
Hi, my name is Josh Ferris. I live at Cabarita Beach on the Northern Rivers, northern New South Wales. Professional triathlete at the moment, also working part-time as a lifeguard on the beaches and doing some adult swim teaching. Life's good up here. It's been a rough trot, and yeah, I just really want to try and be the best version of myself I can be as an athlete and as a person, and travel the world racing the biggest races I can, racing the best in the world, and competing at all these races. Yeah, so I grew up a bit out bush a little bit, you know, not so much on the coast. I grew up on the river, a place called the Hawkesbury. So it's about 100k northwest of Sydney. Very cold and very hot. Awesome place to train, awesome place to live both a casual life and also a professional life at the time. So I lived there ever since I was born, up until the age of 20 it was, and was involved in a lot of sports. Both my parents, we owned swim schools down in Sydney, so I grew up swimming. Not competitively, but just grew up swimming because that was what we were around. Grew up playing rugby league, Tag, cricket, soccer, plenty of sports. I was very fortunate to have so many different avenues that I could have taken. My old man, who's probably been a very big contributor to my triathlon career, who's also my coach, and has been my only coach, and for the future that's all I can see as well, because I believe that it can work and it will work. But yeah, I grew up playing a lot of sports and dabbling in a bit of triathlon, running, riding and swimming as individual sports as well. And yeah, just fell in love with the sport after playing rugby league, especially up to the age of 14, 15, and then kind of got to that age where it was, you know, I wasn't getting big enough to play rugby league, although I loved playing rugby league and I still love watching it. Triathlon was just very much a very natural progression for me. So yeah, and I got to the age of probably 14, 15, made the call, didn't want to play footy anymore and really just wanted to have a crack at triathlon. Not throw all my eggs in one basket, but just to test the grounds, you know. So I was very fortunate to race the AJTS series, which it was at the time, and racing as a youth all the way through to a junior. So yeah, I raced, I think first draft legal race was probably 13, and was very much so just a casual athlete at that point. And it wasn't until more 16, 17 I started taking it a bit more serious. You know, you get your license, you're old enough to realise what's going on then too. And yeah, kind of went down that avenue, and then there were some races which were coming up on the horizon there, the Youth Olympics being one, and then just taking it step by step at a time really from there. You know, I was fortunate enough to have a pretty good race and be selected to go race at the Youth Olympics, which I'm sure we'll get into a bit later. But yeah, it's just been a natural progression for me through this journey of triathlon so far, and got to the point 2 years ago that I decided that the move up north was necessary in terms of moving to the Northern Rivers of New South Wales. And that was just necessary for me as a progression as an athlete and as a person. I've still got really good mates down in Sydney. I still get along with everyone down there. It's just for me as a person, I need to do that to get up here and really knuckle into a full-time training program where it's day in, day out consistency. And yeah, that's kind of led me the last 2 years. Bit plagued with injury, but you know, like I said before, it only makes you a stronger person, these injuries. So yeah, it's a challenge, but I've loved every step of this journey. It's been such an amazing one in terms of just having so much variety as a young kid, and then taking up triathlon a bit more serious later in my life, or earlier and later in my life, however you want to say it. But yeah, it's been awesome. I love it. 22 now, and we're good to go.
What's the best thing about living on the northern New South Wales coast?
Look at it. This is the best thing. Like, it's amazing, isn't it? Like, it's like we were talking before. It's, you know, it's postcard kind of stuff. You know, it's 20 minutes from the Gold Coast, and you're out of the hustle and bustle. And there's what, horse riders just up the beach here, and there's maybe half a dozen people in picked up there. It's perfect up here. Yeah, so my current sponsors are Lapped Apparel. So Lapped Apparel, which is an SA-based brand, only recently just started working with him, probably over the last 12 months to 8 months, and that journey so far has been amazing. He takes a lot of feedback from us athletes that he sponsors, which as an athlete is good, you know, to have someone listening to you, even just to turn for advice, you know, which is awesome. I'm also with Plasmade. So Plasmade here, which is a blood health company, and that's very similar kind of time frame, probably the last 8 to 6 months. And they've been awesome. You know, they're just starting up, but it's going to be a massive project for them, and where they're heading is going to be amazing. So definitely watch that space. And then obviously coached by my old man, Mick Ferris Performance Crew. That's just been a really good working relationship for the past, probably 8 years as a competitive triathlete, and it works really well. You know, we've had our hiccups, we've had all this kind of stuff, but yeah, that works amazing. Also, not on the shirt, but we're getting new shirts made up, is Fries Energy Wise. So that's a Sydney-based company, and really good relationship with him, which is amazing. He's helped me out massively, and so I owe a lot to Ian there down at Fries Energy Wise. But yeah, no, all my sponsors are amazing, and I truly believe all these sponsors have got a long way to go to, which is so exciting to be at the start of it, you know. Yeah, for quite a while now, I've had quite a close-knit kind of group, and it's been a real key group of outside support, as you would say. So obviously my dad coaches me, and you know, as a professional athlete, you could go and speak to 100 other professional athletes, you know. Without the support of your parents, you wouldn't make it. You know, they sacrifice so much for us to be able to do what we want, so I owe a lot to them and other family members, brother and sister. You know, and this journey's only just getting started, you know, so what they've done so far is just amazing. In terms of obviously being injured the last 18 months, it's been a real struggle for me, but I've found a really good relationship with physio, which is Brad Beer. So Brad Beer out of Pogo Physio, and all the crew there are just amazing. They've got amazing dietitians there, amazing podiatrists there, which I have used. But yeah, definitely in particular Brad Beer, I owe a lot to him over these last 18 months. Just to be a phone call as well, especially when things when I might not be going as well as I thought. Just a phone call to him, and a bit of liaising to my old man as well. It's reassure and just know what we got to do to move past this. So yeah, that's been amazing. So I'm really thankful, especially for those people. So Pogo Physio, and the whole crew out of there. Got some really good strength and conditioning coaches here on Northern Rivers too, which is I have been working with in the past. A-team training, and then obviously we've got a great facility here in Casarena, just down the road from the High Performance Centre at Movement Casarena it's called. So gym access, all the girls there are amazing. We've got pool access, and yeah, it's just a real close, tight-knit community that we've got going, and it seems to work. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what the future has to hold for everyone, because you know, as a professional athlete, you know, it takes a village to grow. So yeah, it's amazing. I'm really happy with the people I got around me, and I've got full support of them, and you know, I put all my trust into them as well. So yeah, it's good. So I guess a typical training week for me, whilst at full loads or in a good training block, is swimming 6 times a week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right through to Saturday. And usually the weekday sessions are higher in volume, anywhere from 4 to 5k. And from there, we'll specifically do every Wednesday and every Friday as our hard swim days, and then a mixture of what we would call on field, which would be probably your zone 2, I guess. A higher aerobic kind of session, we do one of them, and then 2 strength sessions a week. So that's probably averaging, I'd say, anywhere from 20 to 25k a week. And then obviously that's every day, weekday, and every Saturday on an afternoon. But then yeah, Monday mornings, long ride, 3 to 4 hours. 8k run between swimming and riding. Riding and swimming, sorry. Tuesday we'd have a run session Tuesday morning, gym, and then we have a swim in the afternoon. So the run session can range anywhere from 14 to 16k. Warm up, warm down, obviously. Wednesday, bike session, so semi-long ride, probably anywhere between 2.5 to 3.5. So then yeah, straight off the bike, and then we'll go into a sometimes a run, load dependent. So load dependent meaning is in however far we've got to average, get our total up for the week. And then, yeah, swim in the afternoon. Thursdays, ride in the morning, just a really easy ride, another 8k run, and then swim in the afternoon. And then through specific training blocks, depending what racing's coming up, put a sauna in there as well on a Thursday, and sometimes on a Monday also too. Friday, we would get up and we would have a swim session, either open water or we'd be here at the pool. After swim in the gym, and then Friday afternoon, same as Wednesday, just a load dependent run, so that can range anywhere from 3k up to 8k or 10k, however far, and that's similar to the Wednesday. And then Saturday is quite a key day, so probably similar to a Wednesday. It's quite a key day in terms of we're doing a hard ride, hard swim, whereas Saturday morning it's more of a hard ride, hard run, so a bit of a brick session we'll punch out, and that can range anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 on the bike, and then anywhere from really 4k to 8k running of quality, and then yeah, easy 1500 to 2k in the afternoon just to tap the arms over, bit of active recovery, and then Sunday long run day. So yeah, probably a bit like a running kind of a professional running structured program, in the way that your long run's dependent on however many Ks you need to get up to for the week. So the long run can range anywhere from 12 to 18 to 20k, depending on what loads we're getting through, and what parts of the year we're in. Obviously those midweek runs can vary too. And then if it's like same again, if it's a specific time of year up for specific racing, sauna again on a Sunday afternoon after the run. So it's a pretty busy week. It can range, I don't really like pushing it over 25 hours, and then we'll do gym again on Friday also, so 2 gym sessions. So I don't go over 25, I don't like to go over 25. Sometimes we're going through a bit of a strength block or a big aerobic phase and might punch up to 27. But yeah, honestly, anywhere from that 24 to 25 seems to be my sweet spot, which consists of obviously 20 to 25 a week in the pool, KM that is, 300 to 350 on the bike, and anywhere, not that it's been happening in the near past, but anywhere from about 50 to 60k running is what I try to punch out. Ideally, I'd like to be punching out 65 to 70, which we have got to at one point, not long ago actually, which was when I was feeling really good, and a lot of that was just easy running. And then obviously about an hour and a half in total in the gym, anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours in the gym a week. So yeah, don't really like to train too much. We prefer to do a bit more do a fair bit of aerobic work, but making sure the quality is quality, and you can't do 30 hours or 20 hours quality a week, you know what I mean? It's really got to be a really nice balance between your easy work and your really quality work, especially this short course racing, because it is such high end racing, and you've got to be performing at that red line for an hour to 2 hours, So yeah, probably on the smaller side, but yeah, we like to punch out a fair bit through the week. That's good. Yeah, so I guess looking forward, it's more just getting myself fit and healthy over this next kind of 4 to 6 months. I really want to get back into a good training block, and at the moment that's all I'm really focused on. But then past that, there's definitely races on the horizon. There's under 23 world champs, which is still potentially into contention for, but definitely not all putting my eggs in that basket yet. It's down to the selectors, and I can see both sides 100%. I'm okay with that, and whatever happens there, happens there. But also, yeah, Noosa, I think off the back of a 3rd place there last year and competing so well with the limited training I was doing, I would love to get back there. That's just such an iconic race. You speak to people around the world and everyone knows Noosa Tri. And I think just the professionalism around that week, the days leading into it, is just top notch. And it's so sick. I'd love to get back there and potentially, move up that podium a little bit. Although it did finish across the line 4th behind Maxi, who was 2nd, unfortunate DQ, you can only do what happens on the day, and unfortunately they were the circumstances, so I got relegated up to 3rd, which you don't do if you don't put yourself in that position either. But then, yeah, past that, I guess it's just looking forward to potentially some World Cup racing later in the year. So hopefully maybe you can get overseas and do some stuff, whether that be Asia or Europe, which would be relatively late in the year, September, October, November. And then moving on to 2024 season, just consistency in racing. You know, I really want to get across to Europe and do a season in Europe racing. You know, I was so close this year. Yeah, I really want to just get over to Europe and get some racing done, because I really feel like the European racing is best suited to me. It's just tough, gritty racing, you know, and you know, you can't hide anywhere, which is the style of racing I like. You know, just going flat chat from the start to the finish. So yeah, I'm keen to get over there and just get a good season there, and hopefully accrue some points, get myself up the world ranking a bit, and yeah, get out there a bit more and race the top boys. You know, because that's what we all want as professional athlete. You want to race the best. And that's really what I really want to do. Hey, yeah, it's been a bit of a rough trot for me the last 18 months, or 15 to 18 months, dealing with injury, and lots just personal life as everyone deals with. Yeah, so 15 months ago I had a stress fracture in my navicular, which is the bone in your foot, and spent an extended period of time out of triathlon for my first real injury, I would say. So yeah, that was tough getting over that, and then only just recently, 3.5 weeks ago, pulled up with a stress reaction to my right tibia. So dealing with injuries are a challenge, but every time you come out the other side of it, which, you know, there's sometimes you might not see a light, you come out the other side a stronger person, a stronger athlete, which is what I'm hanging on to at the moment. It's just really what's got me to this position, and what's going to get me to being better than what I am now. You know, just getting fit and healthy again. Yeah, I think any piece of advice I would give to an up and comer, regardless of the age, regardless of level, is definitely patience. It's still a bit raw for me to say, in the way that, you know, it's, you know, you always think you're going to see a light at the end of the tunnel, which you might not always see, but you will eventually get there. So yeah, it's just really being about patience and just listening to people around you, because, you know, you feel people around you that you believe in. You know, you will get through and you will see the other side. Yeah, it's a real tough one though, patience, because you do have to be patient with it. I just said it 2 times in a row, but yeah, it's important that you stay patient and just trust the process that you're on.
Yeah, but that's just life.